Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to my sketchbook. Last weekend, I decided to have a Saturday morning cartoon kind of day, and I had the opportunity to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. Now, let's see if I can get that to focus just a little bit. And there were a couple of characters that I kind of focused on, which I don't know why I was drawn to them. Drawn, that's funny. But we're going to see if I can draw one of them here now. So this one is a magpie called Sussy. And it, along with this cat-like creature named Derpy, belong to a character named Jinu, who is one of the Saja boys. Not the main characters. The Saja boys are another K-pop group that are kind of, in a way, the antagonists. Well, not just in a way, but anyway, I don't want to get into that. The main characters are called Huntrix, or Hunter X, depending on how you're looking at it and reading it out loud. They seem to do battle on the stage. And anyway, I don't need to get into that either. So if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin anything for you. But these two characters that don't talk, I find kind of interesting. Now, this one is the magpie. And magpies are a little like crows in a way. And in this particular movie, or anyway, it kind of is a stylized creature that looks a lot like a pigeon in my mind. So let's see if we can kind of keep some of that, but not all of that. My initial kind of fear with setting this up would be having it just automatically look like a pigeon. I don't really want it to look like a pigeon, but I'm going to do it in my own way anyway. So if it ends up looking like a pigeon, then it's my fault, right? Already you can probably notice that there's something unique going on about this magpie. It, along with Derpy, which is a terrible name, I think, Sussie here is a supernatural creature. And as you can notice, it has multiple eyes. A total of 6. And I'm doing little Pac-Man style pupils here. We're going to end up hiding one of the eyes here. So it's going to be hidden over there. You'll just have to take my word on it that there's 6 altogether. That beak is hiding the other one. Try to keep the beak sort of differentiated from the rest of that. Oh, before I get too far into that, let's bring out the bunny pen, whose gel reacts differently to this ink in this pen. So I'm going to give it yellowish eyes, and I'm going to swirl it around. maybe pick up some of the ink on the outside of the eye as well as from the pupil. It'll create little lines and maybe a little bit of depth. We shall see. So that's an interesting thing that happens in this show, is demons, or the supernatural especially, have yellow eyes. Which is kind of interesting. Now, before I get too far into that, I'm going to show you something interesting. So some friends of ours went to Korea and brought back some pretty interesting things, which included this, which is like a change purse, maybe. Anyway, this is a pretty cool thing to keep guitar picks in, which I think is awesome. And this, which is a bottle opener fridge magnet. I actually like this thing a lot. It's pretty cool. It's a neat mask. Anyway, it's pretty intense. Pretty cool stuff. So when Colleen and Jamie brought those back, I mean, they were unexpected, but they were still pretty cool. Let's put this hat on. Now, this hat is a traditional Korean styled hat called a gat, which in a way looks like a bucket hat, maybe a little bit like mesh. And this hat would have belonged to Derpy, I guess, at one point. But our friend Susie here took it from Derpy. Again, I don't like that name. So I think this pigeon-like creature has a bit of tude. Maybe a bit of a kleptomaniac. Kind of looks like a Quaker hat in a way. The Saja boys wear these kind of hats, although I probably could have did the brim a lot wider. Doesn't matter. It's my sketchbook. I'm trying to draw this from memory as much as possible, although it shouldn't be that complicated. I don't have to complicate things. This is almost kind of like my version of cross-hatching, although I don't know if I'm going to cross-hatch this. Maybe towards the end I might do something else. I'll probably bring out the brush and water, which is more my thing anyway. I'm going to back this out a little bit now and see if I can get the rest of this done. So I'm going to say something a little wacky. See if that'll stay. When I think of an animal or any creature that is born of an egg, I in some ways like to keep some part of that in their structure. So birds, somewhere inside the body of that creature, I keep them kind of egg-like. And I'm going to do a little bit of that with the wing here and the body. Do a little bit of the wing on that side. it uses another design here for the Magpie that almost looks like another eye on the wing. It's a style kind of thing, but I'm going to put it there. Put some dark plumage in here. Make it, some of them look like feathers, if at all possible. Another bit of style stuff going on here as well. Now, can I go out a little further without destroying what I'm up to? Sure. Magpies are interesting birds. Much like crows, they're highly intelligent, and I think there was a trend. I know somebody actually who manages to get little gifts brought to them by crows. And then, you know, as a reward, you give them food, or, well, it's generally a food thing. So if they bring you back like something shiny, hopefully money, I guess, then yeah, you give them treats. Now I can fix that after. Let's get another leg here. This one's in the background just a little bit. Try to keep them sort of comparable in length. So that we know they're from the same creature at least. That would be ideal. That's the fun of the sketchbook. Lastly, can't forget the tail feathers. Now, if you have seen KPopDemonHunters, let me know what your favorite song was. Something that I think was interesting was I actually heard one of the songs over the summer, and I didn't know that it was from a Netflix show. I thought, oh, what is this? This must be some sort of new Dua Lipa thing. Like it was a very well constructed pop tune. So something was put into that, effort-wise, music-wise. And it shows a funny relationship between bands and the influence that music has over its audience. And it can be kind of spooky. Music is one of those things that can kind of do that. sometimes you listen to something and the tune is very catchy, but you don't realize that the lyrics are not super great. And that can happen where you're just you're so, like, the melody is so awesome, but the tune is, well, by lyrics I mean, is very questionable. I do believe that this is PG rated. So take from that whatever you will. Because I say I do this, I am going to bring out a cup with some water in it and a detailing brush. And with that, I'm just going to very quickly move some shadow around our friend Susie here. Now I'm going to put a little bit more with the darkness of the shadow from the beak. There's a part that happens in this movie where you get to see Susie open their mouth. It's kind of funny. Now, when I sat down to do this, it really was just sort of going to be draw this creature or draw Derpy. And I just kind of thought, oh, well, let's let this creature have a moment. So I may do that in the future. Draw the cat. If that's something you want to see, let me know. Come back as you see fit. I'm just going to collect these feathers with a little bit of shade, and then we can call it done. I don't want to go too much further. I'll do a little bit on this. Smooth out a couple of things like that. A little bit in the bottom part of the feathers here to smooth out that as well, up towards its neck. A little bit on the underside. I think that is going to be it. I don't think it needs anything more than that, really. That gat hat is sort of meant to be kind of mesh-like, I think, anyway. All right then, folks. I think that is it. Let's get a quick look at it, and then if it'll focus. My goodness, what is going on? Yeah. Anyway, that's supposed to be a six-eyed magpie. And that's it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out for a minute or so, and hopefully we'll see you at some point in the near future. And yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think of the music from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Anyway, ciao for now.